business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. The very neglected and never duplicated, Disney top 3. But I told you last week that we were going to cheat on this one.
Yeah, and then I completely forgot to think about it because I've been so swamped that it's going to be a legitimate one anyway.
Yeah, because I didn't think about it either. So, because I haven't been feeling the greatest, and yeah, I just remembered that we were going to do.
Maybe we just pull a random one and we do that.
All right. So this week we are going to do our top 3 takeaways, our top 3 favorite takeaways from Destination D23. Whether it be something in the panels, whether it be something we got as a freebie, whether it's an experience that we were able to do. Top 3 things that we took away from D23. You've got 20 seconds.
Do you want to go to Disney? Contact me at Princess of the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you on your amazing itineraries.
All right, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and let you go first. Our number 1's going to be shared.
Yeah, it's a joint number 1. Like we didn't even talk about this during the break, but it is a joint number 1. So I will try to come up with 3 things, and you come up with 3 things, and then we'll do like a cherry on top, creme de la creme.
Number 1. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Then so we'll have 7 because
Yeah.
we both know what our top is for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start with number 3.
Okay.
So during Sunday morning, while they were doing the studio update, kind of giving us all of the rundown of what's kind of coming in terms of movie planning and, all the different avenues of Disney production, in the crowd, you had to be sitting there to get
Ahsoka ears.
Ahsoka ears. So that is going to be my number 3. I thought it was really clever and creative because I think when we do the not top 3, we might have a joint not top 3 number 1 as well. I really appreciated how, hey, I'm sitting here, and it was like a must be present to win situation, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't sitting here, you don't get this. So they handed these out live. It was really cool. It was very streamlined. They had just bags and bags and bags of Ahsoka ears, and they basically handed them out to the left side of the room, said, take one, pass it along, and it just worked its way along the rows, and then their cast members got to the far right side of the room, picked the bags back up, and wheeled the carts right back out. They had these big old, like, airport luggage carts full of Ahsoka ear bags. So I'm just going to go with that for my number 3 because we had thought about buying these for numerous trips. And so it was really nice to just all of a sudden go, I just got that. That's awesome. So that's going to be my number 3.
All right. My number 3, I'm going to go with the shopping experience. I think we both didn't necessarily know what we were getting ourselves into on that advanced shopping experience, and we ended up with some really cool stuff. I have my 70 years of Disney animation corksicle bottle here. We got a bunch of stuff from the company store. We got a bunch of cool items associated with D23 from the company store.
Yeah, I showed that bag last week.
Yeah. I got my daughter a really cool golf towel. You got the same golf towel that was basically 100 characters in the Nemo style of animation. So yeah, just a really cool shopping experience, and they extended it throughout the weekend for anybody that had a credential for D23. But if you were a D23 member, or if you were a DVC or AP holder, you had the chance to do a shopping spree on Sunday as well, which was really cool. So
yeah, that was a good experience since you just kind of took that whole experience as one of them. I really like going into the company store, especially that was really cool. So just to kind of add on to the idea of shopping.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's get to our number two. Peter, before we get to our number two, where can people find you?
Hold on, I gotta give my daughter a hug. She just got home.
Hey, Addie.
Hi.
Oh, you want them? That's fine. I'm done talking about them. You can have them. All right. So mostly over on Facebook is the best place to make the first contact. Just get a hold of me at Princess and the Mouse Disney Travel. We'll talk back and forth, and then if things are looking kind of good, we'll schedule a phone call. We'll sit down. We'll talk it all out, and hopefully get something on the books. As I was just kind of saying, first quarter of 2024 is kind of on the books right now. So we want to be getting those things booked, getting those locked in, and start having those vacations take shape. But of course, you can book through all of 2024, not just the first quarter. But that's obviously a big focus right now. If you're looking to swing down for, fall break or, that winter Christmas time, still plenty of rooms available. I was actually just the other day pretty excited about 2 rooms that I was able to get for family going down. Couple of adult kids and a sister and a couple, and we were able to get them 2 rooms at a pretty good rate. So good stuff out there. So, anyway, so my number 2, I really just got to my number 3. So, and then my daughter got home and distracted me. So my number 2, I'm going to go and hone in on the Marvel panel.
Okay.
So this is outside of them just updating us on Marvel attractions or Marvel shows and stuff. They told us about plans for Loki and other stuff like that. But there was a separate Marvel panel, and I really enjoyed. So it was C.B. Cebulski, who is like basically the head of Marvel Comics, and he basically laid out the history of the Avengers, which I don't know. I just kind of geeked out at that whole thing, just kind of sitting there listening to all of it. Was really cool. Talking about how from the very first Avengers was basically Stan Lee got together and said, hey man, we've got printer time booked in a week, and our other comic, which was going to be Deadpool, the first
Daredevil.
Daredevil. No, it's Deadpool.
Daredevil.
Okay, either one. Yeah. Sure. So anyway, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to make it to print on time. The writers and animators were having a difficult time getting the story wrapped up, and so he literally just had this brainchild and said, hey, what if we just throw a bunch of already created superheroes together and we'll just make Loki the bad guy? And so they threw together a comic in a week, and that was the birth of the Avengers. And it sold so well that they went, well, we got to keep doing this. And ultimately kind of like listening to the team change and then talking about kind of the introduction of female characters into it. And then ultimately you move yourself forward in the Marvel franchise to now, like the Marvels is coming out next year, and it's legitimately 3 different versions of, Captain Marvel, because you've got the Rambo and the original, and then you've got Miss Marvel, and so it's just going to be really cool. So I really enjoyed that, just as a Marvel fan, as a comic book fan. Now I've got a buddy who's a way bigger comic book fan, but I really just enjoyed that panel. So I'm going to go with that for my number 2.
There you go. My number 2, I'm going to go with in the parks panel, the Muppets made appearances. And
that was fun. Yeah.
Most of the Muppets made an appearance, and they were not only in like pre-recorded video shorts, but they were actually live on the stage, and I've really never seen them utilize the Muppets live before. You always see them, even when they're on TV, they're cut at the right spot to where you don't see the actual puppeteer. On the stage, you could see the puppeteer, and they're on these really cool, like, rollies, and they're mic'd up, and they're wearing all black, and they come rolling out on stage, and all of a sudden, you've got, Gonzo, and Sam Eagle, and Bunsen, and all kinds of different characters out there, and they were celebrating the creator of Gonzo, but a lot of different characters made their way into the parks panel discussion in different ways, which was really a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, go back and watch the live stream. There's a lot of channels that have reposted it. Go back and watch the live stream, because there are a lot of cool interactions. I mean, they're talking about the new Country Bear Jamboree, and their resident bear expert is Fozzie Bear, and here he comes out telling bear jokes, and I mean, it was really, really cool, and it was just one of those moments that you don't get anywhere but one of these events that I thought was really cool. So my number 2, it was the integration of the Muppets cast as part of the parks panel. All right, so let's get to our number ones that aren't our joint number one.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
it really is. My number one moment where I just sort of I got excited, really, really excited. Besides the, hey, look what's opening, that made me go, oh my gosh, I have to start getting overseas. My number one, now again, this is just Blue Sky, but my number one is the updated Blue Sky of Animal Kingdom. So,
yes.
They painted a picture. They had some concept art. That whole Dino World area that we were thinking maybe we'd get like a Tokyo Disney carbon copy of the Zootopia area, or a somewhat different Zootopia land, scrapped. And I know we talked about this a little bit last show because we really talked about D23. But my number one is I cannot begin to tell you how much I hope the Blue Sky of Animal Kingdom becomes a reality.
Yes.
I've always kind of not disliked, but just sort of disconnected from the Dino World area. Why do we have Carnival Midway games in Disney World? The Primeval Whirl was just a cheap little carnival ride. The Triceratops Spin, again, I could literally go to a carnival in a mall parking lot and ride something very similar. And Dinosaur as a ride just felt cheap. Like, too much in the dark, too little, like, just relying on herky-jerky motions to make an experience. And it wasn't very immersive. Like, Indiana Jones does that same herky-jerky stuff, but holy cow, that set in Disneyland that you ride through is just wild. So the Blue Sky is that they're going to rip out that area and they're going to put in a Tropical Americas, and I just cannot be more thrilled to hope that this comes to fruition and that by next year we're ripping things out and leveling Dino Land and starting to break ground, and by like 26, 27, I can go into Tropical Americas, because a third nature trail would be amazing. 2 or 3 more attractions, put Indiana Jones, give me some type of an Encanto,
fly through.
Yeah, give me something. Yeah. In that same idea, because you're doing Tropical Americas, you could always give me like an Alabrije flight, similar to Flight of Passage, but different enough. Give me a slow water ride. We already got Navi River Journey, but this could be completely different enough. But whatever it is, give me a couple more attractions. Give me another jungle walkthrough, and give me more nature conservation facts. Give me more Wilderness Explorer stands. Like, Animal Kingdom could really use that.
And Animal Kingdom was always one of those parks where that the mythical beasts aspect of that was really hard to explain, and they tried to do it with Pandora. They've done it with Creatures of the Past with Dino Land, but when you look at what makes Animal Kingdom shine, it's Africa and it's Asia, and it's the immersion in those cultures that you get in those areas without knowing it. So, getting a Central Americas, in really when we're talking about tropical Americas, we're talking about like south of Mexico to that northern part of South America, where you get that, Brazil area and that kind of stuff. So, no, really, really, really looking forward to that if that came to fruition.
The bear is no longer in Magic Kingdom. He's...
My favorite one is the one where he's in the Doom buggy.
Yeah, I like that one.
So, yeah. All right, so my number one, you really left my number one really wide open, because I had a couple, and I was like, depending on where you went with your number one, I had a couple in mind for my number one. I'm going to use one of the ones that I thought for my number one favorite things that I took away, at least make it a least favorite thing, and I'm going to go with, we got an exclusive walkthrough of Journey of Water inspired by Moana. And I said earlier in the show that it's already up on our YouTube channel. Go over and check it out. It is really a cool area. It is what you would expect a walk-through Epcot attraction to be. There's conservation facts. There's a storyline. It's told well. The set pieces are wonderful. And there's a little bit of that unexpected flair to it that really makes it a lot of fun. And I'm not going to give away everything. You can watch the video if you want to see everything, but we still don't show everything that happens within that area. But each little station has 4 or 5 different interactive pieces. Some of them go up to 8 or 10. It's going to suck hundreds of people out of main thoroughfares all the time throughout the day. I mean, it's going to be a good piece in the middle of the park.
It really ties world nature. It is the missing piece of world nature.
Yeah.
So now you have the Seas Pavilion that celebrates the oceans. You have the Land Pavilion that, Soarin' is great, but the main thing at Land is the living with the land, where it talks about agriculture and human and interactions, and now you've got water, and it really does tie that whole world nature thing together. Sorry, keep going.
So we got an exclusive walkthrough as part of the D23 thing. We were actually one of the first groups to go through. We hustled over there. We got into that line and walked through it, and there was barely anybody in there. It was a ton of fun. We got to play with all the little pieces of it. Disney 100 ears.
My daughter took my Ahsoka.
Oh.
Anyway.
But no, a lot of fun. So my number one was that experience. But there were a lot of cool things. The Epcot After Hours event was really cool. We didn't stay around for the ride times, but there were some unique characters that were there. It was the first time that you could actually meet and greet Figment. And even in that event, there was a 2.5-hour line as soon as we walked in. And we walked in at 9:20. So it was crazy, the excitement for the Figment meet and greet. So really good time. So let's get to our bonus number one, because far and away, and I think anybody that talks about D23, if this wasn't their number one, they don't have a soul.
Well, they also didn't get Ahsoka ears. If they don't say this, ask them to show you their Ahsoka ears, because if they don't show you their Ahsoka ears, then that's why they weren't here for this.
Yeah. So our joint number one is a short that we're speculating is going to be released on the 100th anniversary of Disney Animation Studios, which is October 16th. And it's called Once Upon a Studio. It was an absolutely wonderful, 10 minutes of our time, if
Yeah,
it was that.
It was about a 10-minute short.
Yeah. And basically it paid respect to every style of animation throughout the years. And it was just a beautiful piece of art.
It is indescribable.
It is.
Without spoiling, because I would hate to spoil a single thing, it is indescribable. Is just the easiest way to put it.
It's perfectly drawn. It's perfectly timed. Everything that should happen in it does. It was just awesome.
Yep.
And the two producers that did it, they announce it, we watch it, we cry over it, they come back out on stage, they're crying, give a 5-minute standing ovation. I mean, it was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
Yep. It's remarkable. It really is. It is. It's fun. It's funny. It's light. It's inspiring, and then it's also very like respectful and somber, and then it's upbeat and positive, and you can do anything, and it's just a roller coaster emotional ride awaits you. You will have to get all your Inside Out buddies together.
Yes.
They'll all be standing at the controls pushing buttons.
You will need all of them, because it was that good, and I don't know if we sat here and talked about it for the next 10 minutes, we could do it enough justice of how good it really was to see it and to experience that the way that we did in the group that we did. It was just a really, really, really awesome thing. So watch for it on Disney Plus. Watch for it in front of. I wonder if they bring it out in front of the Wish. In front of Wish. That would make a lot of sense too. So.
Oh, in the theater?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, just watch for it. Once Upon a Studio. No, it was absolutely
what
awesome.
Would they do with it on the cruise ship?
Yeah.
Oh, the movie Wish.
Yeah. Side note: Have you seen Elemental yet?
Yeah, we watched it over the weekend.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was. I get why, because they were raving about, right, at D23, they were raving about, oh, it just kept sticking around in the theaters because we had no reason to pull it because it kept making money, and so we kept just letting it sit in the theaters. And I get it. We've watched it. We've watched it twice, and I think it's been on 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah. 26.4 million views. Absolutely destroyed Little Mermaid for
It's
most
pretty
views.
solid.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, I did not see Elemental in the theater, but my family, my daughter saw Little Mermaid 3 times in the theater. So,
we didn't see it in the theater, and when the kids saw it on Disney Plus, it wasn't a huge deal for them to watch it.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Oh, I really like it. I think they did a really great job with it.
So.
Yeah. Scuttlebutt has got to be like one of my favorite. Like, you talk about every live action and a song that's now there that wasn't there in the animated. Scuttlebutt has got to be one of the top. Aquafina, you silly goose.
All right. Well, that is top 3 for tonight. If you like the show, definitely hit the like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't yet, and share it to your friends. Let them see it. Let them see what they're missing out on. We have a ton of fun doing this. We'd love to have you guys involved. If you want to drop an idea for a top 3, do it in the chat, do it in the comments, hit us up on Facebook Messenger, something like that, and just let us know. You know, you got an idea for a top 3. We brainstormed what, like 40 something on the airplane down there. So
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got an hour worth, or a year worth of content coming at you, at least on the top 3. And then I released earlier on the show, I haven't really talked to you about it, but DPI Deep Dive, October the 3rd, 2 weeks from today, is when we're going to premiere that. So
Good choice when I'm completely done with golf season. Smart man.
just make sure that you guys don't do your awards banquet on a Tuesday like you do on boys golf.
I think it's a Wednesday.
So a couple weeks. I've got basically everything done on it. Just finished up the final version of the intro. Shared that tonight. So no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But no, thanks for joining us. Definitely want to check us out over on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube if you're not watching us on YouTube, and we post these as audio only on the Anchor platforms, which kind of get distributed everywhere else. So again, thanks for watching tonight. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Bye now. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.